One of the best things President Biden inherited on his first day in office was the Taylor Force Act, which mandated that the United States would not give any money to the Palestinian Authority until the Palestinian Authority stopped paying its citizens to go kill Jews, except for the problem that Joe Biden canceled it. And since then, he's been paying out over $350 million to Mahmoud Abbas's Palestinian Authority to kill Jews. 350 million of your dollars. Will Johnson, we've talked about this about 1 million times. Under Trump, God, I can't wait to see him in the White House again. Oops, did I say that? The pay for slave program was banned by the United States. Trump made it very, very clear. We have a Taylor Force Act. You, Mahmoud Abbas, president of the Palestinian Authority, lead murderer in the Palestinian territories, are no longer allowed to accept money from the United States as long as I'm president of the United States, if you're going to spend it to pay people who kill Jews. Yes or no? And he put out his hand. And Mahmoud Abbas said, I agree, Mr. President, walked out of the White House, went back to Ramallah, went on Arabic television, and denied everything in Arabic. And what did Trump do? Stuck to his word. Cut off the checkbook, no discussion. That was it. Thank you, President Trump, for standing by the only ally we have in the Middle East. So, Will, what did Biden do the first week he was in office?
Reject Israel. Undo everything President Trump did.
Yeah, he put it back. And now the payments are now up to $350 million a year of your money. And the only thing worse than you doing it is me doing it, because I pay more in taxes. So I'm killing more Jews than you are. We just talked about that. It makes me crazy.
It should make everybody crazy. Barry, he did this. Everything that's happening right now in Israel, this was planned. They wanted to kick it up on day one. Joe Biden removed everything that President Trump had did because they knew what President Trump had did. I mean, come on, Barry. He was nominated for 7 Nobel Peace Prizes in the Middle East because he brought peace. He was bringing peace. And like, oh, no, we can't have this. I constantly say this. Those on the left, they need chaos. They want the chaos. Only because then they can try to act like they're going to swoop in to save the day.
It makes me insane. For those of you who don't remember, and Will and I have talked about this for years, Taylor Force was an American serviceman, American now, vacationing in Israel. He was killed walking down the street by a terrorist. His name was Taylor Force. The Congress, Republicans and Democrats stood shoulder to shoulder, one of those few times. And they said, you know what? We are going to honor the memory of Taylor Force. We're going to pass a law that the president is going to sign that's going to say no more tax dollars going to the PA, the Palestinian Authority, until they stop paying Palestinians to kill Jews. Republicans and Democrats stood together, and it was signed into law. God bless Trump for doing it. What was the first thing Biden did? He threw it out. $350 million a year is going to the Palestinians. And what are they spending it on? Their main budget? Paying people who kill Jews.
Yeah.
Pay for slave. I am shocked. There's an actual government in the world that does this on purpose. And we and you fund it. Shame on us.
Yeah. But you know what? It's going to change. It has to. Come this November, it has to change. And this is, you know what, Barry, why would they be so terrified of defending and protecting American citizens, even in Israel? They don't want to do that either. Why not? What is it that they have to continue to fund these terrorist organizations? Why would they do that?
Hold it. What? You're asking a brilliant question. What's the answer, though? Why would you pay people to kill people that are your enemies?
The only thing I can think of is what I just said a second ago. They need the chaos so they can swoop in and try to act like they're there to save the day. That's the only thing I can think of why they would do this. Let no crisis go to waste. If the crisis doesn't happen on its own, create the crisis so then they can take advantage of it.
All right. Well, tell the audience who created this crisis, Will Johnson.
Well, Joe Biden created this crisis. I'm going to go ahead and even say the United Nations created this crisis. I'm going to go ahead and say Iran created this crisis. Joe Biden worked with the United Nations, worked with Iran to do this to Israel via Hamas.
And we're doing zip about it.
And now, to my understanding, Joe Biden is getting ready to go to the United Nations, Barry, to demand Israel stop. Have you heard about this? I know you have.
Of course.
I know you have.
It's the tragedy of tragedies.
Hold on, Barry. I'm not going to toot my own horn here. I guess I am. But remember when all this first came up and Joe Biden was acting like he's an ally of Israel? Remember I kept telling you the only reason why he's doing it? Because he wants them to continue to pour money into the Democrat Party. Do you remember me saying that? Did I not say that? And now it's starting Joe Biden and they're starting to show their ugly heads. He's going to go to the United Nations, Barry, against Israel. How disgusting is that?
I have no words except for one: traitor.
Yeah.
If you can't keep your word in international relations, nobody will trust you. Even the other side won't trust you because they will watch you put out your hand knowing your fingers are crossed like you're a 5-year-old behind your back.
And like the rest of us not going to recognize what's happening. I told everybody it's a game. It's only a game. Where's Chuck Schumer? How come Chuck Schumer's silent about it?
That voted for the Taylor Force Act. Chuck Schumer was one of the leaders of the Congress when they pushed through the Taylor Force Act. What happened to him?
Money. It's all about money.
Or they're figuring out, what are we going to do in November? Everything is now, how do we keep the White House? Because we're going to lose it.
Really quick, if I can, because a lot of times, Barry, what happens when you have a wartime president? What happens typically?
Popularity goes up.
And what happens after the election with a wartime president? Typically,
well, depends on which war you're talking about.
Well, I mean, it happened. Well, typically, it happened with Bush, right? Typically, when you have a wartime president, people say, well, we don't need to change up right now because we're in war. People have that mindset. And again, this has all been planned out. They want to have war. They want war with Russia. They're constantly talking about the nukes with Russia.
Unreal.